Greetings, YouTube. Not long ago, Oregon made the wise decision to decriminalize many drugs. But just recently, some of the people in the state decided it would be a better idea to recriminalize those drugs and to make the lives of addicts even harder. If you want to help someone with an addiction, the first thing you can do, the very first thing you can do, is not make their lives harder by giving them a criminal record. Do you think it's easier to kick an addiction if you don't have a criminal record or if you do have a criminal record? That's not a real hard one to grasp. It's easier if you don't have a criminal record. And the only reason a person would have a criminal record for using drugs is if you have decided that using drugs is a criminal act, when it shouldn't be. It is an addiction, something that people do not have control over. I have fortunately never been addicted, but my father was an alcoholic. I have a friend that kicked heroin. I know people who have currently problems with addictive tendencies. It makes their lives hard. Now, their lives would be a lot harder if they had a criminal record. So that should be the most basic thing to grasp. Don't hurt people, help them. Now, the reasoning behind this, and I'm using reasoning in a very broad definition, is that they think that if you punish people for being addicts, that somehow that is going to make them be less of an addict, which is something that can only be said by someone who has never been addicted to anything. People will do just about anything to feed their addictions. It's just what happens when you're an addict. Lots of people that are addicts don't ever commit any other ancillary crimes. Some commit nonviolent crimes, and sadly, some commit violent crimes. But they're doing this because they're addicts. If you treat their condition as a medical issue, which is what it is, then their lives will improve. We don't we don't throw people in prison for being drunks. My father was a absolute miserable psychotic bastard when he was drinking. But under no conditions was that an illegal act. Giving him a criminal record would not have helped him. And recriminalizing drugs isn't going to help anyone in Oregon. Not as it's going to help anyone in the United States at all. We should decriminalize everything and legalize weed because lots of people like it. And, we could make a hell of a lot of money off the taxes. Just make sure that everybody gets to play in that field. That not just big corporations, not just white people. Let's make sure that everybody gets to play in that field. That field of dreams, if you will. So I'm appalled that Oregon has made this choice. I wish they hadn't. I think it's incredibly unwise. It's a foolish step, and it's just going to ruin our lives. And if their goal is to help people, they've done the one thing that was the absolute dumbest they could choose. To give people who don't have criminal records a criminal record for something that they have no control over because they're addicts. That's just an act of cruelty.